And here's your host,
everything you need to know to start your day. The Morning Wake Up is streaming live with Steve Shetler.
Hey, good morning to you on this Tuesday, February 6th. It is time for the Morning Wake Up, presented by our good friends at Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. Eddie and the crew at Home Plate Sports Cards bringing us our morning wake up. And let's give you some information on Home Plate Sports Cards. They are open at the Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Let's see here. Monday, Tuesday, they're closed. Wednesday through Friday, they're open 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Saturdays, noon to 6. Sundays, noon to 4. There's no place like home. Home Plate Sports Cards at 641-676-1516. That's 1516 A Avenue East, Oskaloosa. Home Plate Sports Cards, bringing us our morning wake-up during the month of February here on Steve Shetler Media. Our forecast for today, it's brought to us by The Garden Gate in Sigourney at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney, 641-622-3191. You can give Cindy a call or stop in and see her and the gals at the Garden Gate Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturdays, 9 to noon. Got increasing clouds today, warming up to a high of 55 degrees and just a little bit of an east wind. For tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. Clouds tomorrow, 57. A little bit more breezy tomorrow. Slight chance of some rain late tomorrow night after midnight, low of 44. Breezy south winds on Wednesday night. Thursday, a 50-50 chance of some rain, partly sunny and breezy. 63 degrees on Thursday. That is pretty crazy. Garden Gate bringing us our weather. Currently, we have humidity at 96%, east winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The barometer is barometing at 30.16 and currently 27 degrees. Here in southeast Iowa. Your weather brought to us by our good friends at the Garden Gate. They got new spring merchandise in. And of course, Valentine's Day is just a little over a week away. And you need to get your orders in for Valentine's Day at the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Make sure you do that. Hey, let's get you ready for today. The question o' the day will be coming up right around noon, a little bit after noon today. And that's always brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. They got their 18th anniversary coming up on February 12th. And you can always call or text for an appointment at Amy's, 641-622-3772, located at 202 North Main in Sigourney. Hair and spa services, extensions, products, and tanning. Your question that we are going to be talking about today is, what are the best big game snacks? You know, the bowl, the Super Bowl. What are the best big game snacks? What do you think? What do you like to munch on while watching the Super Bowl? Do you get like some chips and salsa? Do you get the little weenies, the little wieners? What do you eat or what do you drink during the Super Bowl while you're watching that? That's coming up on Sunday. So what are the best big game snacks? That is our question of the day that we'll be talking about later on today. Let's see here. Let me do something here really quick. Give me just a second. Once again, we're doing the morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media. It's brought to us by our friends at Home Plate Sports Cards. And what else we got going on? We've got our Athlete of the Week poll that is up and running. Went up yesterday. So far, Rihanna Utterback from Sigourney Kyoto Wrestling is dominating the poll. You can get your vote in for all sorts of area athletes On the Steve Shetler Media Facebook page is our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics Athlete of the Week. We'll see if anybody can catch Rihanna Utterback in the voting this week. We'll announce our winner officially on Friday. Coming up later on this evening, Keota Eagle basketball. We'll have the makeup game for Sigourney at Keota. We'll have that action for you starting at 6 o'clock this evening here on Steve Shetler Media. The girls start at 6, followed by the boys. And then also the pairings were released yesterday for the boys' postseason games in the state, not the state tournament, but the tournament that goes on throughout the state. Class 1A pairings released yesterday. Let's get to that. Let's throw that graphic up on the screen for you. Substate 6, District 11. And, we've been doing several games for Keota throughout this basketball season on Steve Shetler Media. We will continue that into the postseason for the boys. We'll be following the Keota boys as far as they go, and hopefully it's a nice long run in the postseason. Keota will be taking on the winner of the English Valley's Meskwaki Settlement game, and that'll be on Monday, February 12th. And we'll have that for you here on Steve Shetler Media. Obviously, you can see there how the tournament plays out. If Keota would win their first round game, they'd be going against either North Tama or BGM in the next round. So as far as they go, we'll be following the Keota Eagles boys here on Steve Shetler Media. And if they get all the way to state, now the rules don't allow live video streaming. However, if they get to state, we will have the audio for you here on Steve Shetler Media with all of our sponsors on there. So, follow along during the postseason tournament for Keota Eagles boys basketball here on Steve Shetler Media. And if you have any interest, if you are a business owner or you just want more information on how to be a sponsor, email me at steveshetlermedia@gmail.com. Got an inexpensive option to be a sponsor for Keota Eagles basketball here on Steve Shetler Media for postseason play. But again, we have Sigourney at Keota coming up tonight here on Steve Shetler Media. Starts at 6 with the girls. Coming up later on this week here on Steve Shetler Media, we've got our Iowa Music Showcase. That'll be coming to us from Barnwired in Sigourney. They always host our Iowa Music Showcase. And this week we have a young lady named Kelsey James. Now, the cool thing about the Iowa Music Showcase is I've had a lot of people say, Steve, you have a lot of people I've never heard of. And then they are pleasantly surprised, which is what this is all about. There are so many Iowa musicians and Iowa musical artists out there in our great state of Iowa that nobody knows about. So this is an outlet for them and to get them some exposure and to make them more known here in our state. So Kelsey James, you see her there with her fuzzy jacket and her guitar. She'll be coming to Sigourney, Barnwired, for our Iowa Music Showcase on Friday. And that'll be 11:30 to noon with a live interview and some live original music. So tune in Friday for the Iowa Music Showcase. Kelsey James. Saturday, of course, we'll bring you the sports section from Brothers Market in Sigourney. Starts at 8 a.m. Make sure you tune in then. Let's see here. Some other news. We got some sad news this morning. As you may have seen posted on my Steve Shetler Media Facebook page earlier this morning, I got up about 5:30 this morning, checked things on my phone. First thing I saw was sad news that Toby Keith has passed away. Country singer Toby Keith. His social media outlets posting this picture saying that Toby Keith passed peacefully last night on February 5th, surrounded by his family. He fought his fight with grace and courage. And they say, please respect the privacy of his family at this time. Now, Toby was 62. He's been battling stomach cancer for the last few years. It looked like he was making a comeback. He was on that award show last year, played the song Don't Let the Old Man In. Everybody was crying. It was emotional. But it looked like Toby was going to start touring again and had won the fight, but sadly, evidently things had taken a turn here recently. So yeah, man, just a bummer. That really bummed me out. I mean, that's when I got into radio. I graduated from radio school back in 1993. That was right in the heyday of country music in the 1990s, and Toby Keith was a huge part of that time. Had a ton of hits into the 2000s. What was his last big hit? Red Solo Cup, I think, was his last big hit. Red Solo Cup. So, I mean, he could sing a serious song. He could take a stupid subject like a Red Solo Cup and make it into a hit song. Former football player. He's a big guy. So, yeah, just sad. Bummed out this morning about Toby Keith passing away overnight. Assuming it had something to do with his battle with stomach cancer, but don't know that for sure. But Toby Keith, 62 years old, passing away last night. Let's see. How do you transition out of that bummer? I don't know. We'll try here. Let's bring this up. There's my bobblehead. All right, let's get into some good news. There's my bobblehead. If you follow along on my Facebook page, you saw yesterday that I posted. I got some mail yesterday, and my daughter Riley had told me that she had gotten me a bobblehead for Christmas. It just hadn't come in the mail yet, and it finally came yesterday, and there it is. There is my bobblehead. So it's the Steve Shetler Media bobblehead. Here, I have it right beside me here. So, yes, the head bobbles. Now I can play with different things here in the studio because they're not bobbleheads. Woo. But I do have a Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute from The Office, and I'm kind of bigger than them, so maybe I can beat them up. I kind of look like a combination here of Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute. With the black and the glasses. I don't talk, though. My bobblehead does not talk. But anyway. Funny stuff. Thank you, Riley. Great Christmas present. The Steve Shetler Media bobblehead. One of a kind right there. So we're going to stick him up there. Let's see here. So kind of funny stuff there. And then one last thing. Yesterday, I was out because I'm always out with my dogs. I take my dogs outside every few hours to do their deed. And that is what has popped up in our little side yard to the west of the house. I was walking the dogs and noticed a little dandelion had popped up in our yard, which is, kind of rare in February. I mean, yesterday was February 5th when I saw this little dandelion, so I had to take a picture. I mean, a little bit early for dandelions to be popping up, but this warm weather is fooling things, thinking it's spring already. So a dandelion in our yard on February. So it's making things think we're ready for some warmer weather to stick around here in southeast Iowa. Let's see here. Good morning to you. Let's catch up on the good mornings. Got Jackie, Heather, Bubby, Kurt and Kathy, Dixie, Bruce, Pixie. I like your name, Pixie. That's a cool name. Nachos for Super Bowl. Nancy, Renee, Sandy, Dan, Braunschweiger dip. That sounds interesting. Let's see here. Amber, Sherry, thank you. Jennifer, Tracy. Sure will be some of you Keota gals coming up tonight at the Keota game. Again, Sigourney at Keota here on Steve Shetler Media. I'll be running the camera and keeping the score updated while Eddie Conrad and Andy McGuire have the call of the game. And yes, Tracy Waterhouse, we've got James Waterhouse Construction on board. I'm thinking we'll see your logo down here today, Tracy. Keep an eye out for that. And also sponsoring some Keota basketball. Let's go ahead and do some birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! All right, birthdays! Birthdays for today. We've got actor Mike Farrell. You know him as a BJ Honeycutt from MASH back in the day. BJ Honeycutt, 85 years old, actor Mike Farrell, with a birthday today. We've got broadcast journalist Tom Brokaw. Is that how he talks? I've never actually tried to do a Tom Brokaw. Tom Brokaw, he kind of talks like this and is all serious. He's from Iowa, by the way. Tom Brokaw from NBC Nightly News. 84 years old for Tom Brokaw. So happy birthday to Tom, a fellow Iowan. Let's see here. Singer, there you go. I was watching for it. That really sticks out on there. James Waterhouse Construction. Thank you guys for joining up on advertising. Richie McDonald. Baby, I'm amazed by you. Richie McDonald, Lone Star. 62 years old. Happy birthday to Richie. Let's see here. Axl Rose. I will not do an Axl Rose impersonation for you. Guns N' Roses. 62 years old for Axl. Let's see here. Rick Astley. Never gonna give you up. Rick Astley. 58 years old today. Those are your celebrity birthdays. Good morning to you, Nathan. All right, on this date, February 6th, on this date in history, it was 1778, France became the first nation to recognize American independence. Dang right, you better recognize France. French toast. Let's see here, 1788, Massachusetts on this date became the 6th U.S. state. So way to go, UMass, Massachusetts. It was today in 1971 for Alan Shepard. 1971, astronaut Alan Shepard hit 3 golf balls on the moon. Doing a little golfing on the moon. Let's see here. Today is, on the National Day calendar, it's National Chopsticks Day. It's well documented that I am a very picky eater. So it's no surprise that I have never used chopsticks. I can only imagine. You should see me shuffle cards, by the way. It kind of looks the same. It's like, if you pay me money, I will shuffle cards for you just to entertain you. It looks like my wrists are broken or something. But I've never used chopsticks because it would be the same scenario. National Chopsticks Day today. It's National Frozen Yogurt Day. And it's National Lame Duck Day. National Lame Duck Day today. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Good morning to you, Jeff, Penny. Thank you all for hanging out. Scratch my nose. Let's see here. Things you need to know. I mean, you'd be fine not knowing these things, but things you might need to know. A new study found that people who sit at work... Wait a minute. That's what I do. A new study found that people who sit at work most of their day are 16% more likely to die early. That was me being dead. Let's hope that's not true. Let's see here. Buckingham Palace. Sad news. They have confirmed that King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. King Charles with cancer. A survey among users of Babbel. Is that an app? Is it a book? I don't know. You learn how to do different languages. A survey amongst users of Babbel have chosen French as the world's sexiest accent. Bumping Italian from the top spot. Oui, oui. French was sexiest accent. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. This Sunday's game at Allegiant Stadium is the very first time the big game, because you don't want to get in trouble saying Super Bowl. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. The big game, it's the very first time it's been played in the state of Nevada. Stadium holds 65,000 fans. They have a grass field that is grown outside and then rolled into the stadium with 72 individual motors. So it's grass that's grown outside, but they roll it onto the field. Interesting. In fact, the sliding field tray weighs 19 million pounds, which is nearly as heavy as the Eiffel Tower in Paris. That's a weird comparison, but okay. Something you can think about while you're watching the Super Bowl this weekend. Let's see here. The conspiracy. Oh, we've got a conspiracy theory brewing for Taylor, the T-Swizz. People are pointing out that Taylor Swift failed to mention Travis Kelce in either of her acceptance speeches at the Grammys on Sunday. Now, while she was up there, she did mention her new album, The Tortured Poets Department, will be out on April 19th. Woohoo! A new Taylor Swift album. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. So excited, you guys. It's the new Taylor Swift album. I had some people in my personal Facebook newsfeed that said they were literally in tears when she announced that there was a new album on the way. So I know my daughter loves the Taylor. In fact, in yesterday's question of the day, asking you guys if you had met anybody famous, my daughter posted one of her pictures with Taylor Swift. Well, we've met Taylor a couple of times over the years. It's been a while, but me and Taylor, the Shetler family and Taylor Swift's family are tight. I tell you, twice. Met her twice. And Mama Swift gave us a backstage tour. So cool. Hi, Swifts. I know you're watching. I know Taylor Swift takes time each morning to tune in, so hi, Taylor. Let's see here. James Cameron. Is this real? James Cameron says he already has ideas on where to go with the Avatar movies number 6 and 7. I have an idea on where you should go with the Avatar movies if you get that far. You shouldn't do them. That's my idea. We don't need 6 or 7 Avatars. I'm pretty sure we didn't even need a second one. I mean, it's all right, but did we really need it? No, we didn't. Michael Jackson. No! His daughter, Paris. Oh! Paris Jackson attended the Grammys over the weekend and shocked everyone. She used a body paint and covered up most of her 80-plus tattoos. Wow, 80-plus tattoos. Other stuff you need to know. Oh, let's go back to Taylor Swift, because we haven't heard enough about her today. Did you know, of course, Taylor, she's doing the Grammys, she's doing some shows in Japan. Everybody knows she's going to be coming back to the Super Bowl because she loves Travis. The total number of miles flown by Taylor Swift over 2 weeks to attend both the Grammys and the Super Bowl, 19,400. She is spending a lot of quality time in the air, Taylor Swift. Let's see here. Tokyo, Japan. Hello, Tokyo. Is dealing with heavy snow. I guess in my limited worldview, I did not know that Tokyo got snow. Shows how much I don't travel. Tokyo, Japan, dealing with heavy snow that has caused them to cancel hundreds of flights. So, Taylor's got some Japanese shows. Will she make it? Nobody knows. Ow! Patrick Mahomes, the father of the quarterback for Kansas City Chiefs. This is confusing how I'm reading this. Patrick Mahomes' dad is a drunk driver. Several times. Arrested Saturday night. You probably have seen this in your Facebook feeds. Near Tyler, Texas. Third time. Mr. Mahomes has gotten a DUI or whatever it is, DWI, driving while intoxicated. So hopefully he gets some help. Let's go to the University of Washington. They have hired Steve Belichick, which is the son of legendary coach Bill Belichick, as their new defensive coordinator. So way to go to Washington and the Belichicks. And some food news. St. Patrick's Day, still a ways off, but the Shamrock Shake has landed at McDonald's this week. Okay, so my wife and I, where were we? Was it Friday night? I think we went to Ottumwa and drove through the McDonald's specifically to see if they had a Shamrock Shake. But their ice cream machine was down. It's like, it's kind of overused, the joke about McDonald's ice cream machine being down, but their ice cream machine was down. We just kept on going. We didn't have any ice cream from McDonald's that night. Let's see here. Egg prices and other food news. Egg prices are on their way back up. That's due to a breakout of the avian flu late last year. So expect to pay more for eggs. Papa John's, for Valentine's Day, they're offering heart-shaped pizzas again, just in time for Valentine's Day. And also on TikTok, one of the trendy desserts on the old TikTok these days are called burn away cakes. They're decorated with one edible picture, but when you light it on fire, it burns away to reveal another picture. So what if you eat it first? Do you just not get to see the other picture? I don't know. Burn away cakes. You might want to look that up on TikTok. Oh, you know what time it is? It's time for today's Impossible question. 20% of us keep one of these in our car at all times. What is it? It's it. What is it? 20% of us keep one of these in our car at all times. What do you think? I was thinking maybe a roll of toilet paper, just in case you had an emergency roadside. But no, 20% of us keep one of these in our car at all times. What is it? It is a tube of toothpaste. I'm not worried about my breath or my teeth while I'm driving, but evidently some of you are. Let's see here. Other stuff to talk about. By the way, good morning to you. Who did I miss? Cindy, Kay, Dodie. I like your name, Dodie. Never saw the first Avatar. Yeah. The first one's good. If nothing else, but for the scenery and the way it looks, I like. Although it's 3 hours, so you got to prepare yourself for that. Let's see here. In some football news, of course, Super Bowl on the way. Wallet Hub. They did a survey. Survey says, and they say that according to their data, the best city for football fans is, I should probably get a drum roll. Can I get a drum roll? Where's my drum roll? I have lost my drum roll. I had a drum roll at one time. I've lost my drum roll. Best city for football fans, Pittsburgh. That's according to their data. Number 2 is Dallas, then Green Bay, Los Angeles, and Boston. Your top 5 cities for football fans. Now, the worst cities for football fans. I'm not sure why some of these cities are on this list, but your bottom 5 are Fort Collins, Colorado, Waco, Texas, Bloomington, Indiana, Valparaiso, Indiana, and Easton, Massachusetts. You would have thought they would have just left it to like some big cities, but evidently not. Let's do some weird.
That is weird.
Good morning to you, Jan. Glad you could join us this morning. In some weird news, let's stay here in Iowa. January 9th, a kid named Eli Mielke, or Mielke, I'm not sure, created an Instagram account called Peanut Butter Eater 16, as my voice cracks. So if you're on the gram, go to Peanut Butter Eater 16. He started it with the idea of eating small amounts of peanut butter after getting a certain amount of followers. However, that quickly took off on him. He says, all over the internet, they've been doing just certain things for so many followers, and I thought, well, peanut butter's pretty good. Eli goes on to say, my first thought was that it was kind of funny. And then I started to be in awe at how fast this account was growing. That was according to Eli's mom. Now, Eli's plan was for every 50 followers, he would eat 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. He says, I was expecting it kind of as a joke to get, maybe a couple hundred. But then once it got in the thousands, it kept going. And I thought it was funny at first. Then I realized how much peanut butter I had to eat. And then it wasn't much of a joke anymore. It was a lot of peanut butter, according to Eli. Now, on the 6th day, Peanut Butter Eater 16 amassed more than 20,000 people. He says, so I decided every 10,000 followers, I'll eat 1 cup of peanut butter. However, that rule change didn't save Eli from consuming large amounts of peanut butter. He says, I'd get about a quarter way through it and all hope was gone. I didn't think I could get through it and I kept going. Let's see here. Eli made a goal on January 14th to cover himself in peanut butter once he reached 100,000 followers, which he did a few days ago. And since starting the account, Eli Mielke, the household has gone through 7 jars of peanut butter, which really isn't all that much. I mean, thinking that you have that many followers, I might have to look this kid up and do an interview with him. Maybe when he douses himself in peanut butter. Eli Mielke, Peanut Butter Eater 16. He's an Iowa kid that's eating peanut butter. Interesting. Good morning to you, Rick. You think? Your expectations aren't very high, Rick, if this is a fantastic show. I mean, if the Michael Jackson noises are making you laugh, then I'll just keep doing that. But that'll grow old pretty quick. Let's go to the bathroom. I mean, you don't want to go to the bathroom with me. That would get awkward. An elderly man found himself in an awkward situation after going to the wrong restroom. I'm in the wrong bathroom. Where he was accused of indecency because the restroom signs presented in English and in pictorial form were confusing. Now, the incident, which happened in a town that I can't even begin to pronounce in China, in the Guangdong province. Where's Neil Crott when you need him for the Guangdong? Everybody Guangdong tonight. So the incident has been trending since early this month on Chinese social media. China. Following the event, the mall issued an apology, promised to optimize and rectify their signage. Now, the incident might have been resolved, but the ensuing discussion has not simmered down. People say, you just need to have common sense signs to go to the bathroom. Just make it obvious that if you're a guy, you go here. If you're a girl, you go there. That way, like, kids and older people don't get confused. So, yeah, China, Guangdong. Let's see here. Some other weird news.
That is weird.
There's Clinton. How you doing, Clinton? Let's see here. Let's talk about a cobbler. And I'm not talking about apple cobbler. I'm talking about a shoe cobbler. Pinocchio, whatever that guy's name is in Pinocchio. Florida man carrying on his family's 100-year-old cobbler tradition taking one of the oldest professions in the world into the 21st century through social media. Name is Jim McFarland. Jim comes from a long line of cobblers. His great granddaddy came over from the old country on the ship full of cobblers. Hey, look who came in the studio. Stella. Stella, you want to make an appearance? Stella came from a long line of dog cobblers. She's hiding behind. Stella, you haven't made an appearance since Groundhog Day. Stella blindly wandering into the studio. All right, Stella, go cobble something somewhere. Don't get tangled up in my headphone wire. There we go. All right. Anyway, the shoe cobbler. Let's get back to him. I think Stella's more interesting than this story, actually. I don't care about the shoe cobbler. He cobbles shoes. Let's see here. In some other news, Gen Zers and younger millennials are skipping wild nights out in order to catch up on their sleep. According to the Wall Street Journal, I gotta let Stella out. She is wanting out of the studio. Younger people wanting to sleep instead of going out late, according to the Wall Street Journal. Data from several sources points to longer sleep on average and earlier bedtimes for people aged 18 to 35 who are happier to hit the sheets early in lieu of late nights out with friends. So people are going to bed earlier. And finally, in some weird news today, good morning to you, Cindy. Thanks for hanging out. Firefighters, or if you're a longtime listener, a firefighter. Firefighters in Virginia determined the cause of a creek turning mysteriously white. It was because of a clogged drain that led to an overflow of milk. This is in Lynchburg, Virginia. The fire department there said in a Facebook post that crews responded to a 911 call about a creek that had turned almost completely white in color. It ended up being because of a dairy plant had some issues, and the creek runneth white. Let's see here. Files of law and disorder. In some disorder, Florida's House passed a bill that would limit. Speaking of bill, I'm just a bill. Did you get in on the recent question of the day for Schoolhouse Rock? Hopefully you did. That just reminded me of that. I am a bill. That would limit youth access. A bill in Florida, if passed, would limit youth access to social media by banning new and existing accounts of users younger than 16 years old. The Republican-backed bill, which hones in on social media's addictive features, would be one of the strictest social media restrictions in the country if passed by the Senate and signed into law by Governor Ron DeSantis. Now, it's unclear how the legislation would be enforced. I mean, how could you possibly enforce that? But again, Florida wanting to make you at least 16 before getting full-blown access to social media. Also, in some law and disorder, Killer Mike was at the Grammys the other night. The rapper clinched 3 trophies at the 2024 Grammy Awards, yet found himself in handcuffs as well. I don't know if he is still holding on to his trophies with his hands handcuffed behind his back. Footage shared on social media depicted the rapper being handcuffed and escorted out of the arena on Sunday by police despite winning 3 Grammys. In the pre-show ceremony, the rapper secured victories in all 3 categories for which he was nominated: Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Album. Chris Gardner of The Hollywood Reporter, mentioned that an official informed him that, quote, it's a misdemeanor and has nothing to do with anything that happened today here inside the arena. So, yeah, they just wanted to make a spectacle of it, but regardless, Killer Mike cuffed and stuffed at the Grammys. Let's go to some good news. I need to get a little good news sounder. Good news. Let's see here. Some homemade and handmade scarves are a mystery. 10 years ago, they appeared around the necks of famous statues in Ottawa on a chilly January day in Canada. And each scarf was tagged with a note that said, "I am not lost. If you are stuck out in the cold, take this scarf to keep warm." Kind of a neat idea. Later revealed that a few university students were behind the good deed. Now, the incident went viral and is part of a movement now known as scarf bombing. Not to be confused with barf scamming. Scarf bombing, where you leave handmade scarves in public places to warm people up during the winter months. Now, scarf bombing has spread across Canada and the United States, including right here in Iowa. So if you're nice, I mean, we're seeing dandelions pop up now, so you don't really, I don't know if you need to worry about keeping warm. I'm sure we'll get another cold stretch or 2 or 3 before spring is officially here, but scarf bomb, if you want a scarf bomb, go ahead and do that. Let's end this. Let's wrap this up with some duh. In some duh. A motorcyclist who authorities say posted a video of himself on YouTube speeding from Colorado Springs to Denver in about 20 minutes, a trip that typically takes about an hour, is wanted on multiple charges. His name is Rendon Dietzman, 32-year-old guy from Texas. Recorded himself at the end of September going more than 150 miles an hour, squeezing through small gaps in traffic and traveling on the shoulder, according to the Colorado State Patrol. The video has been deleted from YouTube, but the Colorado State Patrol shared a clip with the news release. Dietzman, who is known as Gixxer Bra on YouTube. Gixxer is Gixxer, and then Bra, B-R-A-H. Yo, he's Gixxer Bra. He's posted multiple similar videos from different parts of the country. He's wanted on charges of menacing, engaging in a speed contest, reckless endangerment, reckless driving, speeding 40 miles per hour over the limit, engaging in an exhibition of speed, and driving without license plates attached. So, yo, if you see Gixxer Bra, let the police know they want to arrest him, just like they did Killer Mike at the Grammys. All right. Thank you, Cindy. You have a great day, too. All right, that'll do it for the morning wake up, presented by Home Plate Sports Cards. Once again, check them out. Their hours this week and every week. Closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 5:30 to 8:30. Saturdays, noon to 6. Sunday, noon to 4. Home Plate Sports Cards, 1516 A Avenue East, Oskaloosa, 641-676-1516. I get all that information in. Eddie at Home Plate Sports Cards, sponsoring our morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media. Another glance at our forecast brought to us by the Garden Gate. Today, increasing clouds, nice temp, high around 55. And then tomorrow, cloudy, a little bit more breezy, and 57. Thursday, chance of some rain, partly sunny, breezy, 63. Wow. Coming up on Thursday. All right, that does it for our morning wake up. It's brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards. We got Keota Sigourney basketball coming up tonight here on Steve Shetler Media. Girls at 6, followed by the boys. And let's see here. Otherwise, what do we got coming up? In Remembrance Of, that comes up right at 8 o'clock. Get to that here shortly. We got the What's Happening video in Southeast Iowa. That's at noon. Might have... probably not. Probably not. But, yeah, again, Keota and Sigourney basketball. That's our main event coming up this evening here on the old Steve Shetler Media. Thank you guys for hanging out and putting up with my stupidity. Yow! Yo! Killer Mike, I'm coming to see you, bro. All right, that'll do it for our morning wake up. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow morning back here at 7 a.m.